مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students of grade 9, it's my pleasure to welcome you once again with the first lesson of the second semester. Today, inshallah, we're going to talk about Module 6 with the title of A Modern World. Today, we are going to start with reading page 62. So, let's get started. This is a page we are going to talk about today. What is the objective? Our objective today is to read the text to decide which prediction is pessimistic and which is optimistic. And we have some vocabulary like futurologist, predictions, pessimistic, optimistic, quantities, climate, and desert. Now let's have further information about the most important vocabulary. These pictures indicate optimistic. Optimistic means hopeful and confident about the future. In Arabic it means متفائل. These pictures indicate pessimistic, which is the opposite of optimistic. It means to see the worst aspect of things or believe that the worst will happen. معناها متشائم. Next we have futurologist. It means people who study and deal with the future possibilities based on current events. Then we have solar power, also wind power. These types of power are called alternative energy. Alternative energy معناها مصادر الطاقة البديلة. Tsunamis, volcanoes, earthquakes, and floods. These are types of natural disasters. كوارث طبيعية. Now let me ask a question. What kind of environmental problems exist in your town? To help you answer this question, let's watch the following video.
Number 1. Pollution. Pollution of air, water and soil require millions of years to recoup. Industry and motor vehicle exhaust are the number 1 pollutants. Heavy metals, nitrates, and plastic are toxins responsible for pollution. While water pollution is caused by oil spill, acid rain, urban runoff, air pollution is caused by various gases and toxins released by industries and factories and combustion of fossil fuels. Soil pollution is majorly caused by industrial waste that deprives soil from essential nutrients. Number 2. Global warming. Climate change is like global warming is the result of human practices like emission of greenhouse gases. Global warming leads to rising temperatures of the oceans and the Earth's surface, causing melting of polar ice caps, rise in sea levels, and also unnatural patterns of precipitation such as flash floods, excessive snow, or desertification. Number 3. Overpopulation. The population of the planet is reaching unsustainable levels as it faces the shortage of resources like water, fuel, and food. The population explosion in less developed and developing countries is straining the already scarce resources. Intensive agriculture practiced producing food damages the environment through the use of chemical fertilizer, pesticides, and insecticides. Overpopulation is one of the crucial current environmental problems. Number 4. Natural resource depletion. Natural resource depletion is another crucial current environmental problem. Fossil fuel consumption results in emission of greenhouse gases, which is responsible for global warming and climate change. Globally, people are taking efforts to shift to renewable sources of energy like solar, wind, biogas and geothermal energy. The cost of installing the infrastructure and maintaining these sources has plummeted in the recent years. Number 5. Waste disposal. The overconsumption of resources and creation of plastics are creating a global crisis of waste disposal. Developed countries are notorious for producing an excessive amount of waste or garbage and dumping their waste in the oceans, and, less developed countries. Nuclear waste disposal has tremendous health hazards associated with it. Plastic, fast food, packaging and cheap electronic wastes threaten the well-being of humans. Waste disposal is one of urgent current environmental problem. Number 6. Climate change. Climate change is yet another environmental problem that has surfaced in the last couple of decades. It occurs due to rise in global warming, which occurs due to increase in temperature of the atmosphere by burning of fossil fuels and release of harmful gases by industries. Climate change has various harmful effects but not limited to melting of polar ice, change in seasons, occurrence of new diseases, frequent occurrence of floods and change in overall weather scenario. Number 7. Loss of biodiversity. Human activity is leading to the extinction of species and habitats and loss of biodiversity. Ecosystems, which took millions of years to perfect, are in danger when any species population is decimating. The balance of natural processes like pollination is crucial to the survival of the ecosystem, and human activity threatens the same. Another example is the destruction of coral reefs in the various oceans, which support the rich marine life. Number 8. Deforestation. Our forests are natural sinks of carbon dioxide and produce fresh oxygen, as well as helps in regulating temperature and rainfall. At present, forests cover 30% of the land, but every year tree cover is lost, amounting to the country of Panama due to growing population demand for more food, shelter, and cloth. Deforestation simply means clearing of green cover and make the land available for residential, industrial or commercial purpose. Number 9. Urban sprawl. Urban sprawl refers to the migration of population from high-density urban areas to low-density rural areas, which results in spreading of the city over more and more rural land. Urban sprawl results in land degradation, increased traffic, environmental issues and health issues. The ever-growing demand of land displaces natural environment consisting of flora and fauna instead of being replaced. Number 10. Ozone layer depletion. The ozone layer is an invisible layer of protection around the planet that protects us from the sun's harmful rays. Depletion of the crucial ozone layer of the atmosphere is attributed to pollution caused by chlorine and bromide found in chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. Once these toxic gases reach the upper atmosphere, they cause a hole in the ozone layer, the biggest of which is above the Antarctic. The CFCs are banned in many industries and consumer products. The ozone layer is valuable because it prevents harmful UV radiation from reaching the Earth. This is one of the most important current environmental problems.
Now, dear students, let me remind you, with the objective of this lesson, read the text quickly to decide which futurologist set of predictions is pessimistic and which is optimistic. Please move to page 62.
Module 6. A Modern World. 6a. 1. Read. Life on Earth 100 years from now. Since the 1950s, we have destroyed more than a third of the natural world. Our way of life has caused many serious environmental problems. We use huge quantities of natural resources and produce too much rubbish. Pollution is affecting the climate, and our planet is getting warmer. The question is, will things ever change for the better? Some scientists are optimistic and believe that with the help of science, today's environmental problems will disappear. Other scientists are pessimistic and believe that soon it will be too late to save the planet. We asked two futurologists their views about life on Earth 100 years from now.
The global population will increase and reach approximately 16 billion. There won't be enough food or resources for everyone. Temperatures will be higher than they are today. As a result, the Amazon rainforest will disappear completely and the area will turn into a desert. The ice at the poles will melt and sea levels will rise. As a result, some cities in coastal areas, as well as islands that are not very high above sea level, will flood and disappear. Air pollution will keep increasing and people will suffer from lung diseases because of the polluted air. Jake Davis.
People will use alternative energy resources such as solar power and wind power much more than they do today. However, most of the world's energy will come from cold fusion, a clean, safe and free energy resource. Scientists will control the weather. It won't be cheap, but they will use technology to prevent natural disasters in certain areas. Extensive desert greening will take place and most of the world's deserts will turn into forests. Nicola Brand.
Now, after we read the text, again, let's ask ourselves the question, which is optimistic and which is pessimistic? And the answer is, Jake Davis' predictions are pessimistic. Nicholas Brand's predictions are optimistic. And by this, dear students, we have come to the end of our session today. Until we meet next time, أقول لكم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم إسلامية.